On video, what just jumps out at you offensively about them? Obviously, we got a playmaker at quarterback, but just kind of what's your general take on them?
They're a fast team. They're a team that we have to pay a lot to details. One little mistake, one little step could end up in a big play. So we just got to keep our eyes on our keys and the quarterback, not let him get outside the pocket, and I think we'll be good from there.
I'm not slamming the other two guys y'all played so far this year, but is this a major step up from a challenge standpoint for you guys?
It's just a different style. I wouldn't say it's a big step up. Obviously, it's one of the better teams we're going to play this year, but as far as it's just a different style of team we're going to play.
Yeah.
A team that likes to spread the ball out and beat you with speed. That's how TCU is.
How fast do you think your defense is when you're talking about their team speed? Just, how would you rate your team speed?
I think our defense can compete with any team in the country as far as speed. As far as we have our eyes on the right keys, I think that will be fine with anything.
What was it, we talked to you about this a little bit, but what was the biggest lesson you learned from that Oregon State couple of plays that, got out of the gate? I mean, because obviously that was a speedy guy.
Yeah, he
but
was.
But there were but what's the main lesson you learned from that experience?
That everybody has a job on the field, and if one person, all 11 guys doesn't do their job, then it's going to end up in a big play.
Yeah.
So we just got to keep our eyes on the right thing and do our job from there.
You personally, today I think Urban's running practice.
Yeah.
Coach Meyer, excuse me.
Yeah.
Cut it short a little bit. I mean, did y'all know it was going to be a short practice, or was it a little bit of a surprise for you and a kind of refresher? How would you describe it?
Well, we had a shorter one last Wednesday. I obviously didn't know about today. He just called the team up, and I was ready to go. But something like that, when that happens, you're just thankful for that. Obviously, all the guys are pretty tired. We need to get off our feet and recover a little bit better. But something like that, it's just.
I was going to say, but does it give you a little bit of a lift? You know what I mean?
I mean, practice is practice. It doesn't feel like the length every single time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it could give us a little lift, but not as much as people might think.
You mentioned their quarterback and his ability to scramble. Given that you guys have Tate, you practiced against JT last year, does having guys on the roster that you are familiar with that are somewhat similar make that preparing a little bit easier?
Obviously it does. Yeah, Tate has done a good job. We always have to keep a guy spying on him to keep him inside the pocket. But yeah, practice players like Tate working in on scout it's awesome to have him there, because I remember a few times last year when we played Penn State with Trace McSorley, Tate went in there on scout and he helped us for the look. And the whole practice, you got to have good practice for games, and if you don't have anybody that's not going to compare to that quarterback, then it's going to be hard to get a good look. So yeah.
So
Tate does a good job.
He's been doing a Sean Robinson impression this week?
He hasn't as much because he's been over on the offensive side.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but when we go into our whole team defense, they put him in there.
Who has been the scout team quarterback outside of that?
Scout team, it's been Jalen Gill, and he's done a good job too. Jalen Gill, they put him in there because I guess he played some quarterback, so he does a good job with that.
One of the guys played almost every position.
Yeah.
Now you saying he did some quarterback this week?
He has scout team to help us out with the quarterback look.
Pete, what do you know about road trips, college road trips you didn't know 2 years ago? I mean, what is it you have to keep in mind, et cetera?
You just have to keep your mind on the right things. You got to keep staying focused and locked in. It's just like another game, so just trying to get there to the game and prepare as best you can.
What do you like about that stadium? Obviously, you were there for the bowl game. What jumps out at you?
We have a good history in that building, so that's obviously what I'm thinking about. It's an awesome stadium. AT&T is great, a great atmosphere, so I'm excited to be there.
But when you're playing in a place that's kind of famous, obviously all the NFL stadiums are kind of famous, but that one's got a little bit of an edge to it from where the Cowboys play and everybody knows about it. I mean, does it add to the juice a little bit?
It does, yeah. Especially one of the biggest stadiums in the NFL. It's obviously something you think about, which is really cool. So.
You've looked at TCU's offense. What are a couple of things that stand out that they do really well?
They spread the ball out, and they're fast. They get the ball to the receivers, and the quarterback jumps out of the pocket, and he can make plays with it. So we just got to keep him contained and use our speed versus their speed, which I believe we can do.
How do you give credence to the running game, but also avoid letting that create seams on the backside? I mean, what is the trick there?
Well,
because they like to kind of like I like to say take a defense kind of stretch it both ways. You know what I mean?
It does make it a little harder, especially for the linebacker position, trying to spread the linebackers out and then play the run as well.
Yeah.
But then again, just reading your keys and we'll take you all to the ball. So it does make it a little bit tough, but reading our keys, reading pass or run, getting to the ball, we'll be fine with it.
I'm asking you something. I'm going to ask you something that you just do probably just naturally, but what is the key about playing against guys who are fast? I mean, what is the thing you have to keep in mind?
You just got to take the right angles to the ball.
Yeah.
You got to be in the places where you know they're going to end up, and you got to, if they're going to spread the field out, you got to spread it with them and play just as fast as they do.
But that little Turpin kid, the guy that returned the punt last week, and also, I mean, it seemed like SMU had a couple of guys with angles, and he beat the angle. I mean,
exactly, yeah.
You know what I mean? Do you keep specific players in mind, or you just react play to play?
Yeah, we do. But then again, we watched the film on that, and guys were taking wrong angles and weren't pressing the hip and staying focused on that guy, which those returns that he had should not have happened. And we're going to do a good job this week on punt block to keep him contained and not let him have any breakout runs like he did.
What's it like to be a starter at Ohio State?
It's a good feeling. It's just like another day, though. Just keep your mind right and just go out there and play on the field.
But is it, compared to last year, is it like you have something to look for? I mean, you know what I mean? Is the carrot? You know what I mean? What do you have something to look forward to every day? I mean, every game. I mean,
yeah, definitely.
Do you walk a little different? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that, but it is a good feeling. Just trying to keep your mind as focused as possible and know what's coming. Being a starter, obviously, it's nice, but you just got to keep your mind focused as possible and try to act the same way you did before. Just be as humble as possible.
Is there a chance we'll see more nickel on Saturday night from you guys? I mean, what's your take on that?
We don't really know what they're going to come at us with, so I couldn't really tell you. Nickel's basically, it might be second, third down type thing, but we don't know.
What is the nickel package with the linebacker situation?
We just have 2 linebackers instead of 3.
But like, who is it? Is it like, because I know Barron's been out there.
He has. Yeah.
What is the package with the linebackers? Who's out there?
Oh, me and Malik.
What's the difference? I mean, you have Barron and Tough kind of rotating right now. What do each of them bring, and what are kind of the strengths of each one when they're in there?
Well, they're both doing a really good job out there. So it's kind of weird for me because I'm either in with Barron or Tough. They're kind of in some rotation, but yeah, they do bring their own things. They're both good players. That just who's going to be out there with you at that time.
What are those things? Like, what do each of them bring? Like, what's an example of each?
Tough's a good downhill runner. Barron's got a little bit more speed. Tough's got a great vision. So does Barron. I mean, they're both good players in their own way. They both have their own qualities that's kind of hard to name.
Do you have to adjust yourself at all depending on who's in there?
No, I don't. I just communicate with them. My job is my job, and they won't affect that. So, depending on who's in for them, that really doesn't change me at all.
After the 2 big plays you guys gave up running the ball against Oregon State, what were some of the important things that got corrected in that week leading up to the Rutgers game to where going into this game you're hoping you're not going to see something like that again?
Yeah, well, those 2 long runs were just tiny mistakes that led into something big. So it really wasn't anything we had to change other than we got to keep our eyes on the right thing, and we really have to run the ball and focus on the right things when reading the defense. So nothing in particular. It was just a few minor mistakes, and we fixed that obviously when we came to Rutgers.
Do you feel those are the kind of things that can be corrected just through repetition and playing more games and getting that comfortability to say, okay, I've seen this before, this is how I should react to this? Is that a simple way to put it, I guess? Or?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Do those minor mistakes become amplified this week, given you talked about the speed of TCU and whatnot? I mean, can that become even a bigger deal?
I mean, TCU is such a different team than the teams we played so far. So, attention to detail, obviously it's a lot harder when we play 2 different teams week 1 compared to this team. So it's just a whole different mindset defensively. So, a little bit of mindset.
Are you feeling that in practice this week? I mean, just kind of the amped up?
I would say so, yeah. Obviously, it's one of our bigger games, so we're going to be a little bit more up tempo.
You mentioned reading your keys. How much more difficult is that when you've got a quarterback like Sean Robinson? You're on the wide side, he's rolling out on the wide side, and Just all of that going on, in a split second. How difficult does that make it for you?
It does make it tough. You just have to, you just got to look at things a little bit harder, open your eyes a little bit more. But yeah, seeing a quarterback that runs a little bit more obviously makes it a little bit more tough.
Is it a situation where you could do everything right and still get it wrong, like still not make the play, or the play gets made on you?
I wouldn't say so. Our defense is designed where there's going to be making a play at this all the time. So as long as everybody focuses on their keys, it should be a good play.